Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Loop Learnings, and this is video number 9. We are making payroll management system. If in case you are new to my channel, welcome to Loop Learnings. If you are returning, then thank you for returning back. What we are doing, we are making payroll management system, and until now, in last 8 videos, I guess, we have created database. Now we are in the process of creating the user interface. So particularly in the last video, we've created this form called composition, right? And basically the purpose of this form is to create salary information for the employees, right? So any employee that is hired and the salary information is created for that employee, that needs to be created using this form called composition form. Although it's written employee profile, I have to change that, but it's a composition form. Now today it is extension of the previous video. Now what happens if after 1 year or 1.5 years or 2 years, the managers of the employee decides that I want to increase salary or I want to change the grade of that particular employee? Then in that case, for sure, the salary needs to be updated. Now what we need to do is, because that will become another transaction, and therefore we will create another record in this particular table called compensation change. So if a salary is being changed any time, any point of time, that needs to be updated in this particular table, and that change should be reflected in composition table as well, because this is the table actually holds the updated salary information. In other words, when we run the payroll at the end of the month, what system looks at is at this table, composition table. So this table has to be updated every single time. So if there is any change in the salary or grade or whatsoever, that needs to be reflected in composition table. That's it, right? So that's very important, and this is why we are going to use record sets a lot in this particular video. So pay attention if you wish to learn, and I hope that you will learn at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and create the composition change form. So what I'm going to do is, God bless the person who's created the copy paste option. I'm going to copy this form and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to give name like composition change F. Okay, now I'm going to right click it, design view, and in here basically if you look at the composition change table, 95% of the fields we require. So generally what I do when I do the copy pasting, I simply get rid of this entire thing and then bring the fields again. But because this is like a similar table, similar kind of information, so therefore I'm not going to delete this. Now before I go ahead and do something here, what I need to do is I need to go to composition change table, and I will go to the design view. Now I will explain a little bit here because I need to add one row here. Now for example, there is a composition change type, right? So if I will click on drop down, there are two types of change. One is salary increment, just the salary is changed, or the grade is changed. Now when it comes to grade change, that means if the grade is being changed, the new grade needs to be updated, right? And therefore we will use this grade field in here. Okay, and that's very, very important for you to understand that if we are choosing the grade change, then grade field will be updated, will be used to create the grade change information. Okay, so I want to just explain that, because later down the line you will see I will do a little bit of coding here with the grade, in order to, if it is increment, just we will gray out, we will make this as a non-editable combo box. If it is grade change, then we will keep it editable. I will explain later on. Okay, so I wanted to explain this. Sorry, I said I need to add a row. I don't need to add a row. I just wanted to explain this actually only. Now, what I need to do, first of all, I need to wire up this form to the right table called composition change. At the moment, if I'll go to the property sheet and data tab of this form, we will see that this form is currently wired up with composition table. I need to change it to composition change table. Now you will see there is one green kind of icon here. This tells me that, hey, in composition change table, composition ID field does not exist. So therefore, what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to select it. I'm going to go here in the control source and I'm going to change it to just ID, and make sure once you're on that you change the name of this field as well by going to the other tab of the property sheet. Now you will see there is no more that squiggly or triangle, green triangle. Okay, it's gone. Next, I would like to add here one field from the existing list of fields, and that is change type, and this is what I was talking about. So I will add here, and I will go to the form design. I will change the background color to white, otherwise it will look like that it is in non-editable field. And there we go. This just will do a little bit of formatting. There we go. A little bit of formatting more, and I will expand this till here. That's it. Okay, see, with a little bit of change everything is set. We are good to go. So you save a lot of time basically, right? So if you are working like that, you can exactly do the same and make a copy paste, right? With the grade combo box, if you haven't watched my previous video, that would be video number 8, I believe. In that video I have explained how to wire up this combo box to the data, basically the grade table, grading table. We are fetching the information from that table. And not only we are fetching the information, and we are populating that information in these particular fields of the form by using the VBA code, right? So this is the VBA code that we are using to fetch the information from grade table and replicate it on this form. So if you haven't watched my previous video, this is where I explained how to wire up this combo box. So please do refer to that video. In this video I'll continue with the appropriate VB coding that we are going to do. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this code block. All right, and save it. All right, what are we going to do? Well, first of all, if I go to the form view, if I click on change type, there are two change types: salary increment, grade change. And first of all, I need to get rid of this, because if you allow this for user, they will update the list, and so you don't want to allow the user. So I'll go to design view, I'll click on that, I'll go to the property sheet data tab, and in here limit to list, yes. Allow value list edits, no. Okay, so now the user will not be able to change anything in the list. So there are two change types: salary increment, grade change. If users clicks on salary increment, then the combo box for the grade should be grayed out. Okay, should be non-table because it's only salary increment. But if the user chooses grade change, then the grade combo box should remain editable, changeable, updatable, whatever you want to call it. So that little VBA code we are going to do behind this combo box. We'll go to the property sheet, event tab, after update event. Okay, dot code builder, and in here, first of all, I like to get the error handling code blocks. In here I'll say if me dot change type dot value is equal to increment, then me dot grade dot enabled is equal to false. Else if me dot change type dot value is equal to grade change, then me dot grade dot enabled is equal to true, not false. Okay, and then simply end if. Hopefully you have understood what I've done. If not, then you can rewind it a little bit and you can hear again what I said about this particular code block and combo box. Next we are going to, when this form opens, right, when this form loads, what I need to do, I need to check, I need to give some instruction to access to, hey Microsoft Access, check if this field has any value. Basically I'm asking access to check if this field has an employee ID, and if it does, then I want you to go to composition table and check in this table whether the employee ID mentioned here matches any of the record in composition table. Why do I need to do that? Well, I want to fetch the existing salary information. I want to fetch the existing salary information from this table, because this table holds the existing salary information for that particular employee. I hope that you've understood, right? So this I will achieve by doing a VB code on load event. So I'm going to quickly do that. I'll select the form from the corner. I'll go to the property sheet, event tab, on load event. Basically when the form gets loaded, then what should happen? This is where we are going to do. So code builder. Next I want to copy and paste the error handling, very important, on error, resume, next. So first thing first, I want to check if this field has any value or not. If not, then absolutely do nothing. Okay, that's what I'm going to give instruction. If this field is empty, then do nothing. Absolutely no need to do anything. So if is null, me dot what? If is null, me dot emp id dot value is equal to true, then do nothing. That's it. Else, if this field does have any value, then I want Microsoft Access to go in the composition table and check if this value matches any of the record in this particular table. And to check, to do that, to make that happen, we will use record sets. So to use record set, first I will create a variable that will be starting with dim, and I will call it rs check salary. That's the name of the variable, and it is considered as record set. Now Microsoft Access is saying, alright, I've created variable. What do you want me to do now? Then I would say, okay, thank you very much for creating variable. I want you to set that variable to a record set. So set rs check salary is equal to current tb dot open record set. Now what is record set? What is considered as record set? Well, a table, a query itself is a record set. So we are going to refer to this table, compensation table, okay, with quotes, compensation table. But we want to be very specific. At this point, we just want to read the record set. We don't want to make any change. We just want to read the record set. That's it. And to do that, I will give a type of this record set. So I'll say db open snapshot, comma db read only. All right, that's it. That is it. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to, once we have set the record set, then Microsoft Access is asking, okay, what do you want me to do next? Then I want to check if this employee ID exists or not, right? So to do that, we will say, what we will do is basically we will give a line of code. So we'll say rs check salary dot find first. So first of all, you find what? I want it to find emp ID. That's what I want Microsoft Access to find, employee ID in this record set, which should be equal to what? Equal to this employee ID field, me.empid.value. Okay, now here we go. Now Microsoft Access is saying, all right, I have checked it, this employee ID does exist in this record set. What next? Then I'll say, okay, thank you very much. Then get the information from this table and populate it here. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So I'm going to use rs check salary dot find first. Oh, sorry, not find first. Sorry, not find first. So this time we are going to refer to this me.create.value is equal to rs check salary exclamation mark create. Is it create or create? Yeah, create. So basically I'm asking Microsoft Access to fetch the information from this table for grade and replicate it here. That's it. So me.create.column 0, because this is where it will store. Next I want to auto populate basic, me.basic.value is equal to rs check salary dot exclamation mark basic. Okay, next hra, me.hra.value is equal to rs check salary exclamation mark hra. Next is transport, me.transport.value is equal to rs check salary exclamation mark transport. Next is allowance, me.allowance.value is equal to rs check salary exclamation mark allowance. Okay, next is medical, me.medical.value is equal to rs check salary exclamation mark medical. Simple as that. So basically with this line of codes, what we have done is we have fetched the information from this table and we replicated that information on this form. Please understand the business logics if you did not understand yet. When we are opening this form, we want to see what is the existing salary of this employee. So we can refer to the existing salary and we can make changes wherever we wish to do so. And that's why it's very important to fetch this information from this table. Okay, we'll close it with end if, right? Because we have used the if condition here. Debug it, save it, all good until now. Hopefully it works. Yeah, it does, because we haven't got any error. I can't test it right now. Right now I would love to test it, but I will do it in the next video also. Now next, imagine that you have all the information populated here. Next, what do we need to do? Next, let's do VB coding behind save button, and 3 simple logics I want to check. First, I want to check if the employee, if this field is empty or not, if this field is empty or not, if total salary is empty or not. If any of these is empty, then throw an error. If not, then proceed next. And what do we mean by proceed next? That means, first of all, we save the information, we auto-populate these fields, created on, status updated on, and then we update the composition table as well. And again, we will use the record set to update the composition table. And remember, as I said earlier, if any salary change is happening, that must be reflected in composition table. And the reason only is because whenever payroll will run, it will refer to the compensation table. So if you have changed the salary information but you have not updated the compensation table, then when the payroll will run, the employee will get the old salary, not the new one. Remember that. Let's change this first also. I don't like it, so I'll change it here. Compensation change. All right, that is done. Now let's go to the save button. We'll go to the event tab after going to the property sheet, ... and in here we are going to do a little bit of coding. And first thing I want to check if is now me.empid.value is equal to true, then to cmd.beep message box, the employee ID is missing, and hence this action cannot be performed. Simple as that. We be critical information. Next, I want to check the change type, so I'm going to copy and paste change type. So I'll say please choose the change type from drop down list, and I will set focus as well. Next, I'll check if the total salary information is missing or not, and if it is missing, the total salary is missing, and hence this section cannot be performed. If all of this is false, then else me.created on the value is equal to now me.status the value is equal to active, completed, whatsoever, updated on the value is equal to now. Now we have done that. We have auto-populated everything. We have checked the conditions. Now we want to update the composition table as well. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the record sets. Remember that, okay? And if you have seen previously in this video, at the start of the beginning of this video, I used the record set by declaring the variable. So this time we will say rs update salary as a record set. Before we use check salary as record set, remember that? Now we will set this variable. So we'll say set rs update salary is equal to current tb dot open record set. Which record set I want to open compensation record set, and this time I'm not going to use db snapshot, db read only, because remember this time I'm going to update the information in this particular record set. So therefore I don't need to do anything with the open record set db read only. After setting the variable, now what we need to do is we need to find the employee ID in this table. So we can, maybe there are 10 employees, so therefore we want to find the right one, and to do that we'll say rs update salary dot find first. What do we need to find? emp ID. Okay, that's what we need to find, me.emp ID. Alright, once we found the employee ID, then we will update this record. So talking about update, rs update salary dot edit. So we are going to edit the record set, and now we will start doing it. Dot update salary exclamation mark grade. So maybe if the grade is changed, that needs to be replicated there as well. Okay, rs update salary exclamation mark basic is equal to me dot basic. You understand what I'm doing? So basic, I'm saying, hey, update this basic in the table from this particular form. So that's what I'm doing. rs update salary exclamation mark hra is equal to me dot hra. rs update salary exclamation mark transport is equal to me dot transport. Next, rs update allowance, rs update salary exclamation mark allowance is equal to me dot allowance. Okay, next is medical, rs update salary is exclamation mark medical is equal to me dot medical. Me dot medical, not medical. What else? Updated on, that also needs to be updated. rs update salary exclamation mark updated on is equal to now. Then make sure you do this also. rs update salary dot update, and we'll close it with endif, but we will give a message box as well. To cmd.save, to cmd.p message box. This composition change is completed and the updates are reflected in the compensation table, right? We'll say VB information, comma information. That's it. So first of all, we checked So that completes the code. I will explain what we have done. With these line of codes, we have updated the compensation table with the new salary information. So that's very important that you always do that. Okay, so that is it. All right, so we created this form, we changed a little bit, and we hook up this form to the compensation change table. Then we did a bit of coding behind this particular cover box, and we did the VB coding behind on load event. So on load event, check the employee ID. If it does exist, then fetch the existing salary information. If it does not exist, then do nothing. Then we change the grade or we change the salary, and then we clicked on save. And when we click on save, we put some logic to check that whether employee ID or change type or total salary is missing or not. If any of these is missing, then throw this kind of error, else otherwise change the information, update the information. And along with updating the information on this form or on this table, make sure that the compensation table is also replicated. The change is replicated in compensation table as well. I hope that you have learned something. Even if you have not, please do let me in the comments below. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do that. Hit the bell icon as well so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.